Hi, my name is Gibson, and I'm the co-owner and creator of the Personal Development School. This is your daily breakthrough video, and in this video, I want to talk to you a little bit about whether or not dismissive avoidance can activate or have activating strategies while in a relationship. So if you haven't already, please check out our coupon code that we have. This is going to be here all fall to support our community. I know that people are sort of going back into lockdown and isolation. I'll probably do some videos about that and how to sort of be the best version of yourself during these challenging times. I know where I am, things are starting to shut back down again, so I'm really sending my support to everybody as much as possible. We do have our 25% off our memberships. That gives you access to an internal community. We have a Discord chat channel. People break out into mastermind groups. I do 4 live calls with everybody weekly, so you can always check that out. And the coupon code for the membership bundles also gives you access to all 35 plus courses, about 200 previously recorded webinars, all sorts of stuff inside of the school. The code is with you, all one word, for 25% off the 3, 6, or 12 months, as well as single course purchases. You can check that out. And honestly, if you guys have anything on this channel that you want to see, to hear, any way I can support you during what I think is going to be a bit of a challenging time over the next few months going into fall and winter, please let me know and I will do my absolute best to do that. I've been trying to do the daily videos every single day since all the quarantine COVID stuff started, and I will be doing that until we see some kind of big light at the end of the tunnel there. So let's talk about this topic. So this is a question I have a lot, and I want to start by just talking about like the activating versus the activating strategies. So a lot of people have asked me, can dismissive avoidance activate? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Dismissive avoidants actually have a wound around abandonment, but their way that they deal with the wound is different than any other attachment style. Their response to emotional neglect and emotional abandonment, and that being a painful thing, is to repress their need for emotional connection, to deny to themselves that they ever needed that in the first place. And a lot of dismissive avoidants have, usually the emotional neglect happened at a young enough age that the fear or the wound is almost unconscious. It's like so deeply subconscious, it's almost unconscious. So they really don't have that much interaction with recognizing that they fear abandonment or noticing it. So they repress this wound. And yes, when they're really invested in a relationship, if somebody pulls away, they can have that feeling. But just like anxious preoccupied, which you'll see in the next video, can have a little bit of deactivation, it doesn't last that long. And the primary program that takes place or sort of like takes over it is the program of repression and protection. Okay, so what's happened is that thing became so painful, the DA develops a big coping mechanism around it, an automated action or behavior mechanism to defend themselves or protect themselves. So when this thing is triggered, they can feel a little bit of anxiety, like if they're in a loving relationship, the person pulls away, something like this. But then their response to protect themselves is either to like say, you know what, it's fine, I don't need you. And that's their knee-jerk sort of programmed in reaction that's been so historic that it comes up so quickly. So it's either to say like, oh, I don't need you, or to really just shut down their feelings altogether and really go inwards and just sort of become numb to a certain degree and try not to feel. So so they can feel activated, right? They can feel active, like they're activating, but they won't usually have activating strategies to cope with the fear of abandonment. That fear of abandonment can come up, but then they want to push it down, self-protect, self-soothe, and then justify to themselves in their deactivating thoughts that are actually a response to an activating feeling in this specific case of that core wound of abandonment being triggered. Their deactivating thoughts start convincing them of why they need the space, they don't need this person, like they'd be fine without the person anyways, and a lot of their thoughts really move in that direction. And so this is why, for example, often what you'll see in anxious dismissive dynamics, that sometimes the strategies that an anxious preoccupied might use, consciously or usually more so subconsciously, to try to get validation or reinforcement from the DA, like trying to make them jealous, pulling away, flirting with somebody else, things like this. Some of those things that an AP or even an FA might do to get a rise as their own subconscious activating strategy towards the DA in sort of a covert form what you'll see is that when that happens, it usually has the reverse effect on the dismissive avoidant, because even though they can feel activated, their next automatic response is to then push down, repress, cope, distract, get away, self-protect, self-soothe, and everything else in between. And this is also sometimes, and this is a really important topic, I should put a whole video about this, but this is also sometimes why you will see that in a relationship dynamic, when somebody says like, oh, you don't care, or pushes the dismissive avoidant away, or accuses of like not caring, not trying hard enough, if that hurts the dismissive avoidant, sometimes they just shut down further, and it seems to reinforce the story that, see, they don't care because they didn't get jealous, if that was the strategy in AA or FA we're using, or they didn't try to say anything or defend the relationship or come towards me or chase after me or, you know, make things work when I was trying to push them away and test them. And it's because when they feel pain, all they really know how to do and feel comfortable doing is to protect themselves and try to pull away from connection and shut down. And so it's not that they don't care, it's just that that particular strategy is not ever really going to work if that behavioral coping mechanism is alive and well for the dismissive avoidant to begin with. And this isn't me saying you should put up with this or you should stay in a relationship if this is happening and you're unhappy. It's not me saying any of that. This is just me giving you some deeper understanding at a subconscious level for how some of these dynamics play out and what can be going on beneath the surface. And that can help you to depersonalize things and not storytell. And what I would advise in any relationship, if you feel the need to make somebody jealous or anything like that, as an AP, as an FA, whatever you might be, you know, that's a symptom of not being able to communicate your needs. And so that should be your work. And if somebody doesn't work to meet those needs and have healthy compromises, then maybe you need to set a more absolute boundary. But a lot of what's happening from the DA's perspective specifically is that they feel like when there's pain, they just need to withdraw, protect. And that's what they've known how to do. That's what's worked for them over the years. And so that should be understood. So I hope this makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're getting a lot of value out of these videos. And I will see you in the next video.